Congressman Pat Harrigan, who recently was elected to the House. He joins us now to review some of his priorities for rural America. Congressman, thank you so much for your time today. I know that your district was hit very hard by Hurricane Helene, and I know that I've got friends that are in the area. They've been sending me pictures of the cleanup there. So what's the update as far as the recovery process?
You know what, the recovery process is ongoing. I think that everybody around the country has seen the friction and frustration that we've had in Western North Carolina, both at the state and the local levels. I think we all understand that disaster response is supposed to be locally executed, state managed, and federally supported, and it's really hard to see how things were anything other than locally executed, state mismanaged, and federally obstructed. And if I was to say on a scale of 0 to 100 where we are in the recovery process today, we're probably somewhere between 10 and 15% recovered. And so there's an awful lot of work to do, but President Trump and his administration are doing that work to make sure that we clear the log jams and get people the help that they need.
In addition to getting the people some help that they need in the recovery process, I know your district covers a lot of rural areas. Main priorities for these communities?
Look, I think that we have very serious concerns in our particular district with growth coming out of the cities of North Carolina, particularly encroaching onto agricultural lands. We've got family farms that are turning into developments, and there's just a lot of pressure on folks in our rural communities. And I think that we just got to take a very principled approach to how we grow here in Western North Carolina. And we're kind of situated north of Charlotte, a little bit west of Winston-Salem, and east of Hickory and Lincolnton. And we've got a very vibrant community of agriculture in our district. It accounts for about 8% of our district's GDP. And we've got to make sure that the conditions are set for those farmers to continue operating healthy businesses.
Well, one thing, Congressman, that we cover quite a bit here on RFD-TV is the opioid crisis. And that continues to really hurt folks in rural America, especially rural veterans. I know that you are a veteran yourself, a Green Beret. We do thank you, by the way, for your service. But when we look at this, what can be done to stop this?
Look, we simply have to close our border, and it really comes down to that. We've got to understand that China is doing this intentionally. They are killing Americans with intent, and we have lost 100,000 Americans a year for the last 3 years due to fentanyl poisoning. And as you said, I'm a veteran. I'm very involved in different veterans outreach groups across our district. One of them is the Veterans Treatment Court, where we provide opportunities for veterans to not go to jail as somewhat of a thank you for their service in exchange for completing a very rigorous set of classes that are administered by a court and a judge and a mentor. And one of the graduates of this last class from one of our counties in the district, Catawba County, that I oversaw his graduation back in December, about 3 weeks ago, he passed away due to a fentanyl overdose, had a relapse. And this is what we got to understand. This is affecting Americans that we all know. 9 North Carolinians a day are dying from fentanyl poisoning. It's an absolute epidemic. I was very glad to vote for the HALT Fentanyl Act, which permanently scheduled fentanyl as a Class 1 substance, totally controlled, provides no one any mechanism, a legal mechanism around importing fentanyl into this country, allowing the swift and strict prosecution of anybody possessing it for non-medical reasons without proper documentation and license. And so Congress is going to continue to police up this problem. Unfortunately, it has been a problem that has just been systematically created by the willful neglect of enforcing our nation's laws. That's about to stop.